Okay, so my name is Zuzana Garcia, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. This is an online course, as you hopefully know already. I have emailed you all the documents and the syllabus on, I think, October 7th. So if you did not get that email, please let me know so I can email or forward that email to you now. I know my roster has changed a little bit since October 7th. So if you have not gotten an email from me with the syllabus and all the documents, please email me and I will send that to you. So we're going to begin with the syllabus. We'll go over some rules and guidelines and things like that. We will look at the software that we'll be using in this course, as well as we will begin chapter 17, which is the endocrine system. Let's see. Let me stop sharing this and let's go ahead and look at the syllabus here. Okay, so you should be able to see the document with the syllabus. So at the top, you see my name and my email. I would like to ask you to please use that email when you're contacting me and not the one that just says @tccd.edu. Email me directly because the way that our email is set up, and this is unfortunately something that I cannot change in the settings, is that if you reply to one of those, like when I send an announcement and it sends you an email with that announcement, if you reply to that, it often goes into my clutter and I don't look at that every day. I might miss it. Okay, so email me directly at this email address, put it in your contact list somewhere and start a fresh email instead of replying to those generic all class emails so that I don't miss it. My office hours are listed here. So on Mondays, I'll be on Zoom from 1 to 2, Tuesdays 10 to 12, I'll be available. And then Wednesday, 8 to 9. And these are just some times that I put aside so that I will be on that Zoom if you just want to jump in and ask a question or something like that. But if that does not work for you, let me know. Hey, I need to talk to you about something. Can we meet at this time? And we can always work out another time. And this is not the only time that you can talk to me. Okay. So please let me know if that doesn't work and you want to have a meeting outside of those times. You will click on this link right here to go to the Zoom. This is going to be that room where I will hold office hours or private meetings if you need to have one. So click this link here. I also listed my Google Voice number, and this is just a Google Voice number that does go to my phone, so you can text me on here if you have a quick question. I will probably see a text faster than an email. So you can utilize that. If you call that, I will probably not answer it because I don't pick up numbers that I don't know. But go ahead and text me, if you want to have something answered quickly. And if you're texting me for the very first time, write your name, okay? Because I don't have y'all's phone numbers. So tell me who you are and then what your question is. And we can go from there. So this is an online and blended course. And so sometimes people are confused what it means blended. And in an online environment, it's even more fuzzy as far as the description of the course is. But basically, we are not having a separate lab time that we would be meeting, but rather we're kind of doing it all in one. Most of your lab will be done through Visible Body software, which I will show you in a little bit as far as how that works. So that's how that's going to work. We will have the live meetings. Mondays at 10 and Wednesdays at 5. I decided to do like one morning and one afternoon session so that, hopefully people with different schedules can still attend at least one of them. But all of them will be recorded for you if you cannot make it. I do want to remind you, like if you cannot attend the live lesson, I would like to encourage you to watch that lesson that same day. So, you know, well, I mean, you're here right now, the ones that I'm talking to directly, but, you know, if you were missing a Monday meeting, try to watch it on Monday at some point. We like to say that we don't want you to binge watch A&P. Okay, it's not very effective. So you don't want to end up with, you know, 4 or so videos to do, you know, a couple hours before the exam. That's not going to be helpful to you. So pacing yourself and staying on schedule is going to be very important. This is not a self-paced course, okay? So it's not like you have everything open and you can just do it at your own pace. There are due dates and there are hard due dates. So make sure that you pay attention to them. They're at the end of this document here. This is a very fast-paced course, okay? We are doing what people in a regular 16-week course do in 8 weeks. We're not doing less, we're just doing it faster, okay? So keep that in mind. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a little crazy ride, but you'll be done with it faster too. So it's going to be hard and intense. And then when it's over, you will be so glad that it's over. And so that's how that goes. I say here approximately 20 to 30 hours per week of studying outside of class is necessary. This is an average of what we hear from students that have been successful in the course. And so it's, you know, putting the videos or the lectures with that, it's almost like a full-time job. And it really does take about that much time. You can visit the district syllabus if you follow this link. And that's that. Required materials. You are going to need a computer that is either a PC or a Mac. Okay. You will not be able to use Chromebooks or tablets, unfortunately, for the exams. If you are a person that only has Chromebook, let me know, okay? But you can still do this class if you're able for the exams to borrow a PC or a Mac to just do those exams. Everything else can be done on the Chromebook, but it's the testing part that will not work on Chromebooks, okay? So if you are, you know, in that group that does not have the compatible device for the exams, write me an email after class and we can see what we can do. But the easiest thing would be for you to see if you can borrow a PC or a Mac from someone for those exams. It would just be 6 times. Okay, we have 6 exams. You do need a reliable connection with this minimum bandwidth here. And so that's on you. You gotta have, it's an online class, so you have to have internet. You need a webcam that's either part of the computer or that is like a separate webcam that you can attach to the computer somehow. This is going to be necessary again for the testing part. You also need a microphone because during the testing, it's going to record the sound as well. You don't really need a printer, but it is recommended for if you're not very skilled in annotating things digitally or, you know, pasting pictures into a document or things like that. You might want to print out your lab exercises and just fill them out by hand, and then you can scan them, you know, with your phone and submit them that way. And that's that. And so those are required things, like as far as technology goes. For our textbook, a required text is going to be the Anatomy and Physiology book, The Integrative Approach, 3rd edition. And this is by McKinley. If you go to the bookstore, it will show you what that is. And you need Connect, okay? You need the Connect access. You don't have to have the hard copy of the book. The Connect access gives you ebook already. But our bookstore, or even when you get on Connect, it does give you an option to purchase the loose leaf hard copy of the textbook if you want to pay a little bit extra and have your hands on an actual paper. But it's not required. Connect is required. The access to the McGraw-Hill website is required. You have to have that because that's where your exams are going to be. For the lab manual, I'm not going to give you like a file that says lab manual to it. it's going to be the way that the lab manual is going to work is it's going to be uploaded in individual exercises. And right now, 5 of these exercises are already uploaded as assignments because you will be turning in. The other assignments or the other exercises I haven't uploaded yet, but you will just use those as a guide for what you should be able to identify on the pictures and things like that, but you would not be turning those in. So that's that for the lab manual. And I forgot to change this. This should be 2402 right there. And then a visible body with visible body courseware is going to be another thing that we'll be using. And this is where your lab stuff is going to come from. Majority or bulk of your lab stuff is going to come from here. Right now, hopefully you have access to the visible body already. If not, that's fine. You didn't have to. Okay, class starts today, so you didn't have to really do anything before today. But I do want you to log into Visible Body today and select the free 2-week trial. Okay, I will be giving you a code later in the semester before that 2-week trial expires. You will get a code from me. But for now, just use the free part. Okay. And the way you would get onto the visible body is follow that link that I think I emailed it to you, or it's probably in the announcements on my TCC. And then it will open a page and it will have an option like new to courseware, click here, or sign up, I think. And then something like, do you have an account already? Okay, well, if you're new, you're gonna sign up for it and then sign up for the free part of Visible Body. As far as student responsibility, I'm going to let you read that on your own. I have faith that you can read this, but these are just kind of things that we expect of you in this online environment here, and what you should be doing to help you study better. For absences and late work, well, absences, that's kind of I'm not going to take attendance really, because this was not designed as a synchronous section. So really what's important is that you watch the videos on the day that the live sessions are held, and that you are keeping up with the assignments and the due dates. That's of very great importance. It's your responsibility to have internet access. Sometimes people are like, oh, my internet went down. Well, you can do visible body things on your phone, assuming that you have cellular data. You can use your phone as a hotspot if all else fails. So, but let me know if you have any troubles with anything. But there's always a way to figure it out if something breaks down, right? You're responsible to check Blackboard for announcements and schedule changes. I don't expect really schedule changes much. Even bad weather can't hold us back now because we're online, right? And check your email too. I expect you to check your email and be aware of what I have emailed you. So make sure that you are checking your email periodically. If you do not turn in an exam, quiz, or an assignment at the due date and time, then there will be a 0. So everything except for the exams is already open for you. You can start on it early. What you cannot do is go past that due date. Okay, so make sure that you are planning accordingly. Don't let all the assignments build up until the last minute, because if you're starting the quiz 10 minutes before it is due, it is, Murphy's Law that something is going to break. So try not to wait until the last minute, so that if you have technical issues or something doesn't go like it should, you still have time to troubleshoot. Okay. We don't have makeup exams, quizzes, or assignments. So again, plan accordingly. You have several days to take the exam. Okay, if you wait until the last minute and you tell me at 4, oh, well, I'm not going to get out of work until 5. Well, you could have taken it the day before, right? I mean, if you're working until 5, you are not studying right now anyway, so just take it beforehand. So you have time to get it done in time. Okay, late assignments are not graded, so make sure that you're not late. Let's talk a little bit about how you should study for this, because this is a difficult class. It's not an easy subject, and it is difficult no matter who your teacher is or what book you're using. It is tough, but you can do it if you do things the right way. So you should be reading your chapter and use your exam reviews and make notes before lecture. I know that's probably not the case right now since this is our first class, but you need to get into it today, okay, if you haven't started yet. When you read the chapter, I want to encourage you to do what is called active reading. What active reading is that you start reading the chapter, you read a section, you break it down into sections. You write down notes on that section, and then when you're done with that section, reflect on it. Try to repeat out loud to yourself what you just read, okay? Active reading takes effort. It is not something that we do naturally, okay? You literally have to force yourself to do this. But it does work if you do it the right way. If you just read the chapter without taking the notes and you're just reading it, you might remember maybe like what you read in the first paragraph, and that's it. Even though you might spend like 2 hours reading that chapter, right? If you're not doing active learning, it's not going to be sticking in your head. So you gotta, take your notes as you're reading each section, reflect on it, summarize in your words. Okay, so I just read this and blah, blah, blah. This is what it means. And then attack the next section, do the same thing. And then when you're adding the next section, when you're summarizing and reflecting on what you read, then tie it together with that first section, okay? And basically build on like this as you're reading. You don't want to take notes that are super long, or you don't want to rewrite the book either, okay? Use bullet points, use abbreviations, things that will make sense to you. Reword things so that you remember it better, okay? Don't just copy stuff from the book, like make notes. Those are two different things, okay? Okay, answer the questions within the reading at the end of the chapter. So there are some check for understanding questions within the reading, and then at the end of the chapter, there are questions there as well. So try to answer those, see if you can answer them, and then confirm, go back, after you answer these questions, look up and confirm that your answer is actually the correct answer, okay? So first you try to answer them without looking at your notes, and then, okay, you say, so I answered this for this question. Is that correct? Look it up, check yourself. Because if you don't check yourself, then you don't know if you've answered it right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this, oh, somebody was talking? No? Did anybody have a question? I thought I heard someone.
Sorry, I must have my mic on, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And feel free to ask a, question anytime you need to.
Hi there, I have a question. I wanted to know if there's a reminder for the recording for the
Okay,
exam.
I'm just looking at it in chat right now. There is not, but there will be. I just added it to the integrity assignment because it wasn't there. So I'll put it in the instructions so that you don't forget. So put a reminder. Okay, so I'm making a note of that so that when you click on the exam, you should get a little reminder that says, make sure that you run Tegrity first. Make sure you do the recording, because it's not embedded like Proctorio is. So yeah. Okay, let's go on with this stuff. So after you do your notes, after you've read your chapter, that's when you want to start working on the Learn Smart module. And I made the Learn Smart modules due the day before the exam. That doesn't mean you should do them the day of the exam. You can start on them earlier and go, do a little bit at a time. If you try to do Learn Smarts before you read the chapter, they might take you hours and hours. Okay, you don't want to do that. You really want to make sure that you have read the chapter and you have your notes with you when you start working on that Learn Smart. So make sure that you do that before you do the Learn Smart. And Learn Smart is an adaptive learning system. So if you miss a question, it's a completion grade. So if you miss a question, Learn Smart will come back to that topic again, either in the form of the same question, or it will have a different format that covers that topic that you didn't answer correctly before. So if you know what you're doing when you're starting to Learn Smart, it should not take you more than 40 minutes or so, okay? If you try to do it without reading, then it might take you much longer. Make a list of questions that you have. So if something is just not making sense as you're reading and you're trying to understand it and it's just still not making sense, write it down and then ask during the live lesson or email me, I'm not really getting this concept, can you go over that? And I can go over that. And if you have a question, it's very likely that somebody else has that same question. So definitely ask your questions. Have your notes with you during lectures. So when you sit down to class, I would recommend having your textbook with you or having it pulled up in another tab on your computer. And then have a notebook and something to write notes with. Again, writing notes is going to make you an active listener rather than just passive listener. You want to be an active listener as we're talking about topics. So I already kind of talked about the Learn Smart modules here, so you can read that through. We will have 13 Learn Smarts. They're worth 14 points each, and one will be dropped at the end of the semester. I'm not sure if this points is, I think those points are wrong, but they're good in the grade distribution there. For the exams, these are the important reminders about the exams. So you are not allowed to begin the exam without the recording. If you do, you might think that this is not a big deal, but it actually is a huge deal, because if you open that exam and you don't run Tegrity with it, I don't know what you're doing with the exam. So I'm going to assume that you're taking pictures of the questions and you're taking them outside of the platform, which is not okay. And so therefore, taking an exam without the recording will be considered cheating and academic dishonesty. So don't do that. Yes, so somebody's asking, is Connect Plus same as Tegrity? You will access Tegrity from Connect Plus, yes. So they're kind of together. If you have technical difficulties and with Tegrity and you are getting close to the deadline of the exam being due, still do not open the exam without recording. Okay, reach out to me. Let's try to solve the technical issue. I always have the capability to extend if I see that there's really a technical difficulty, technical issue. I can always extend that so that you can still complete your exam. But do not just open the exam saying, I had technical difficulties, I couldn't get it running, so I'm just going to take it without recording. It's going to result in a 0 anyway, so don't do it. The exams will be in Connect Plus, and you'll have a variety of questions. You'll have questions that are labeling questions, multiple choice. You'll have like drag and drop things, matching questions, some composition questions. You might see a short answer here and there as well. And then you'll have pictures from Visible Body in there as well. So I have pictures and you'll have to tell me what it is, kind of thing. Exams will open at 12 a.m. 2 days before the due date, and then they will be due at 5 p.m. on the due date. So you have several, you have time to take it. Don't wait until 4:45. because that will only give you 15 minutes. Do not start it like they are due at 5. So at 5 o'clock, wherever you are in that exam, it will stop. So you don't have until 5 to start it. You have until 5 to finish it. You must watch the tutorial video, and if you click on this link, that should take you to YouTube. It's a very short video, and it tells you how to set up Tegrity through Connect. I would recommend try to do the assignment twice, because sometimes, and this only happened to a handful of people, but it works on the first time, and then the second time the start a test button disappears, and so I would encourage you have unlimited attempts to do that practice assignment that is on Connect. So I would encourage you to try to do it a few times to make sure that it works. If you do not have your exam recorded, you will receive a 0. So that's, I think I've already said that like 10 times. Make sure you study from your notes, from the textbook, that you're familiar with figures and visible body content. You should study all of that. There are 6 exams, they're worth 100 points each, and there's total of 600 points from the exams. Visible body, you have that link in the Blackboard for this website. So I already kind of covered that, you know, how you will click on sign up for the courseware if you have never used visible body. If you have used visible body and you have a code from last semester, then it should just automatically take you to my class using that link. For email, make sure that you use that email that I sent at the beginning, or that's at the top of my my ICR, the my.tccd.edu, and again, try to email directly as opposed to response to a group email, because that the way that shows also is if several people respond to that email, it's a really weird chain of emails that I get. So create a new message whenever you're emailing me so that I receive it. Allow at least 24 hours for a response, but I do try to get back to you as soon as I can. And I do prioritize things. So if you are just asking about a due date for something or something like that, that's not like important at that moment, I might wait a little longer to get back to you. So there is 61 of you. There is only one of me. Keep that in mind, that I do try to get back to you quickly, but there is a lot more of you than me. So TCC business hours are these, and that's just there, just FYI. If your email does not include a question, you might not receive a response. So if you're just telling me that you might not be able to attend the live meeting, I do appreciate that you let me know. I really, really do. I might not have time to write an email saying that, but know that right now I'm responding to that, saying I do appreciate you letting me know things. So our point distribution is right here. So 6 exams. Then we have those Learn Smarts. Yeah, that total for Learn Smarts was wrong above. So we have 14 Learn Smarts, 13 Learn Smarts, 14 points each. And one of them will be dropped. Visible body, you will have 21 assignments, 21 quizzes. It comes out to be almost 2 quizzes per chapter on average. There are some that only have 1 quiz per chapter, and then there is that getting started with visible body quiz. I will drop 2 of those lowest ones. So 2 of the lowest visible body quizzes will be dropped. And then you will have Connect virtual labs. There's only 5 of these, and you can find them in each folder on my TCC. One of them is actually going to be worth 6 points. So I just needed a point there somewhere. So that's why you see this 26 here. And then lab manual exercises, you will have 6 lab manual exercises that you're turning in, and they will add up to 54 points. So that's our total point distribution there. And the grade scheme is our classic grade scheme, 90% or above is A, and so on. There's a little section about student accessibility resources. So if you are in a need of accommodation, you need to get in contact with Student Accessibility Resources Office, and they will work with you and let me know what accommodations you need that pertains to your situation. And but you do have to provide them with documents about this. So they have a lot of different resources that they can offer, a lot of different accommodations that they can tell me to do. So, but I have to hear that from them, not from you, but from them. There's a way to go about this. Scholastic dishonesty, consult that in the handbook and see what is cheating, what is plagiarism. And I have here, score that receives a 0 due to academic dishonesty will not be eligible to be dropped. That doesn't really apply like in the online environment, because we're only dropping Learn Smart, and that's a completion grade. It's really not a way to cheat on that. You can use your notes and everything. And then the visible body quizzes are also not recorded. So, but anyway, should a situation like that arise, I will not drop a 0 that is due to academic dishonesty. There is, when I emailed you, I believe I attached the online testing documents there for you as well. So make sure that you look at those and see what is appropriate during online testing and what is not. Our online exams are recorded. They're not open book tests. They're not, open notes. They're not open internet and Google type of things. So when you are actually recording with Tegrity, here's what I see. I see your face, and your face needs to be in the frame, okay? So don't be taking your exam like this. I'm gonna assume you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. So you need to be in front of your camera. You should not have devices on you. So put your phones and whatever away from you for that time of exam. You should not have a friend next to you telling you the correct answers. Okay, that's cheating as well. Your books and your notes should not be near you. Okay, if we see you, you're testing, and instead of looking at your computer, you're like, obviously looking at something, that's not good. Okay, don't do it. I want to remind you that phones do reflect in people's glasses. Okay, as we learned last semester. So don't do it. I don't like to deal with that, and it's, just be honest, okay? And show me what you know. Okay, financial aid statement. If you are a financial aid recipient, if you do not complete this course, this may affect your financial aid eligibility. So if you are getting financial aid and you're considering dropping, I would encourage you to talk to the financial aid office and also talk to your advisor, because not having this course might delay your future goals. So make sure that you're talking to those people. Children making noise in the background. I don't know if you just saw, like a little bit ago, my daughter was walking out of this room. So that's fine, as long as they're not shouting the correct answers at you during the exam. I know we have kids, and so I've had, if I see somebody who's just walking in and they realize, oh, I wasn't supposed to be here, that's fine. Things happen. But just don't make it, just don't cheat. That's really where I was going with that whole thing. But I understand that there's family life in all of our homes. So okay, so now this is the table with all the due dates and everything. So you can see where the exams are due, and these dates that you see here, these are when the exam is due at 5 p.m. Okay. okay? The exam will actually open a couple days before this, okay? You should be able to see that on Connect. Well, Learn Smarts are due the day before the exam, as you can see here. And then here's the visible body lab quizzes. And they're all listed here with dates, and then lab assignments are here. I actually have just discovered this morning that I am missing one in this table, but it is posted on your Blackboard, and that's the Heart Lab. It is, if you look on the Blackboard calendar, you will see it there, but it's not listed here in this table. So let's look at our Blackboard first. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my Blackboard here, and I'm just going to click on the first one here and just kind of guide you through. I don't know why the My Grades keeps popping up for me as first. It should be announcements that should show up, but anyway, Blackboard is being Blackboard today. So you can see the announcements right here. I actually emailed you the announcement yesterday, and then I found out that these links were broken. So now they're fixed. That's why I resend it again this morning. But you have, it's going to be the same meeting link for the 10 o'clock meeting, and same for the 5 o'clock. So every Monday you will click the first one. Every Wednesday you will click the second one. And then for office hours, you would click right here. I made them clickable so that it's easier than to copy and paste those addresses for the meetings. I do have this, so here's where you can learn about how to go to the visible body, and here's that link to the visible body. When you click this, let me see, it should take you, well, I'm logged in already, so it takes me into my course, but no, what did I just do? I just turned it off. So anyway, when you click that link, if you are not signed up for a visible body, it should give you an option to sign up. And about half of you have already accessed that. So let me know if you have troubles with it today, but I do need you to log into it today, and I will be checking it like in the evening to make sure that everybody has or was able to get into the visible body. One other thing that I wanted to say for the visible body, so some people have already taken the quiz for the getting started with visible body, and some have already attempted the endocrine system as well. I have discovered this morning that the actual modules were not visible to you yet, and so I looked at everybody that has completed some attempts already, and I just gave you all more attempt, like 2 more attempts, so you can do it again after you watch the module. I don't know, there was only one person that told me that, I only have the quiz, but what am I supposed to study before I take this quiz? The other people just took the quiz. So anyway, if you have already taken the quiz, you have 2 more attempts. Look at the modules first and then take the quiz. You have your grades, you would check right here. This link, Tutor 24/7, is a place where you can actually get some free tutoring, some hours of free tutoring for AMP. So you can take advantage of that. It's a resource that is available to you. So try to take advantage of that. This is course evaluation. I should just move that down. Not really relevant here at the beginning of the class. Calendar is going to be your friend. When you click on the calendar, you should see all your assignments, and I have both of my sections here, but yours would look something like this. And so you see different assignments showing up on the calendar here for you. So use the calendar function. This is going to have the visible body. This is going to have your lab exercises, as well as the Connect assignments here in a calendar form. Lecture units is where you're going to find all the things that you need to be doing. So I have this visible body getting started quiz here. This is not in a unit because it's really just getting started with the visible body. And this is on visible body. When you click this link, it will just take you to visible body. Then you will have to find that quiz. It doesn't actually take you directly to that quiz. The visible body and my TCC are not nicely integrated like Connect assignments are. So, but I just kind of created this link for you to get at least into the visible body, and then you would find that getting started quiz there. When you look at the unit, let's click on Unit 1. Unit 1 is going to consist of chapter 17 and 18, so endocrine system and blood. And that's what our first unit test is going to be on. It's going to be on endocrine and blood. When you click on endocrine system, you will see everything that is due or that is important for this unit here. Mostly it's really just what is due. This picture is just a resource for you to use. It's not due. It's just there to help you with this vocabulary here. But you have the link to the endocrine system quiz here. There's endocrine system lab exercise, which there is a document here. And then there is a video of me telling you how to do this. I didn't record a new video for this. It tells you like to submit it on Google Classroom. We're not using Google Classroom this semester. So the way that you would turn in these lab exercises is when you click it, it tells you, okay, it's due on Thursday, 9 points, assignment submission right here. You would do attach files. Okay, browse my computer and then attach it from your computer. You are able to check how it uploaded. And so do that when you submit this to make sure that it's not like distorted and such. So that's where you're submitting those. Okay, let's see. I have a couple of questions. Are the weekly lectures the same as recordings already updated? No. So here is for the lectures, Gabrielle is asking, are the weekly lectures the same as the recordings already uploaded? Yes and no. So some parts will be just recorded. I'm not going to meet with you live about that. And those are already posted because I've already recorded those. And then part of it is going to be the recorded live ones. So those, so like for endocrine system, if we look here, whoa, okay, lecture endocrine. Okay, unit 1. If you look at the recordings and what's in there now is you see endocrine part 2 and 3. Okay, part 1 is not there yet because that I'm about to do it in this session. So so you will find that added later. Except now I'm thinking, has anybody tried to click endocrine part 2? Did it work? Because towards the end of last semester, I found out that there was a change to Zoom and I think I lost all my Zoom recordings. So I don't know. Okay, oh, good. There are a few that disappeared in which I was like, did I just lose all those hours of recording? So if you see that something does not work, let me know as soon as possible. I will double check that sometime today to make sure that I have working links posted. Okay, and then there was another question. Do you have to set up an account for Visible Body? Yes. You don't need an access code yet. I will give you the access code later. So you will need to set up an account with Visible Body, and then that link should put you in my class if you click it from the announcement on Blackboard. So after you sign up, it should put you into my class. And then select the free trial. Okay, don't purchase it. select the free trial. Or if you have used Visible Body in your AMP1, then you should be good to go. You should be licensed already. Okay, do not buy this Visible Body. Okay, we'll give you a code later. Okay, so that's about the recordings. You will see some that are already pre-made, that I've already made, and then the topics that we will be covering in live lecture will be added to it. Okay, so generally I start out with the live one, and then the second part would be the second part of the chapter. That's kind of how that goes. Okay, what else do we have here? So yeah, so that's how the units are divided, or the unit folders are divided. So you have the endocrine system, you have blood, and then you have place where you can find all the recordings or the lessons, really, because some of them I have made Nearpods for you. So it's not just a video of me talking to you, but it's a little more interactive. Okay, so that's the organization of this. And I think I put them all in order of due date. Yes. So like you have, this is due the 21st, 22nd, and then 24th for the Learn Smart. So in each chapter, they should be in order of due date, but use that calendar and see what's due when. For the second chapter here, you'll see the blood lab exercise. There's the blood lab handout and then the blood document. And make sure that you read that before you try to answer that part. But I'll talk to you a little more about that when we talk about blood, actually. We're not on there yet. You have the documents ICR, you have exam reviews right here and some helpful resources in this folder. So you can, you can scroll through that and see what's in there. We will be using this urinary animation in urinary system, and then Get Body Smart. It's just another website that you might want to, play around with if you have some time. I think Visible Body has, it's so extensive that, looking through those modules will help you with the lecture part also. So make sure that you're using your Visible Body. And then exam reviews would be right here. You got 6 reviews. Use those. When you're studying for an exam, you should take that review. When you think you're ready for the exam, take that review, read the first question, and answer it out loud. Or write it on a paper. That's going to take you longer, though. Answer it out loud. It doesn't matter that you're not talking to anybody, or you can talk to somebody about it, but you should be able to answer each question there out loud in a kind of like a paragraph fashion almost. And if you are able to do that without looking at your notes, that's when you are prepared. Okay. If you cannot do that and you have to refer to your notes a lot, then you are not able to answer that question. You're not ready for the exam. I also have, so this link right here, exams. This is where you will be accessing your exams from. That will take you to Connect. This link right here is the Science Learning Center. So when you click that, it takes you to the Science Learning Center. And sometimes students think, well, I'm not on campus, so what do I use the Science Learning Center for? Use it for online tutoring sessions. There's somebody there that is waiting for you to come to ask questions, to go over material with you. They are here to support you. So if you don't want to come to my office hours, go to the Science Learning Center and ask them questions. They love to see students. Okay, you have hours are 8 to 8 on Monday through Friday. So you have a whole day to drop in and ask questions. And then on Friday and Saturday, Saturday is 10 to 4, okay? So you have a Saturday availability as well. If you click on anatomy and physiology here, you would be using this anatomy and physiology 2-part. I don't really have a whole lot of stuff there though. Everything that you need is on my Blackboard. But I do want you to use it for tutoring. There's one thing that is in here that you will need to use, and that's this histology photos thing. That's where you get your histology slides for your lab exams, your lab exercises that you're turning in. Okay, let me see the question. I don't have practice exams or tests that you can use at this time. So I didn't really plan on getting a practice exam, but if I do have something, I will let you know. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. I'll see if I can get something that would give you also feedback. I know what you're saying. Okay. So for the Science Learning Center, use it for tutoring, use it for any questions that you have, they can answer them for you. And then use it for histology photos. Histology photos will be on Science Learning Center's website or page. For some reason, since summer, it will not allow me to upload this file onto my Blackboard because of its size. And so it has to be here. You have to go and access it from here. Let me see. Does it follow format of the Learn Smart module? The exam, you mean? Maybe, but it's not as nice, and it doesn't have those colorful buttons on there as the Learn Smart does. So, but it will be kind of similar. Yeah, the exams. So, okay, so I need to rename this. These are the same exam reviews that I have on my page as well. It says summer, but I didn't change them. They're the same. So no, there are people in here that want to help you, and then I'm here as well. There's another great resource that you have in your class, and that is your supplemental instruction leader. Use him, use his sessions, and he's going to tell you about what supplemental instruction is here at this moment. Jose, are you ready to tell them?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jose. I'm your supplemental instruction leader. Supplemental instruction is just like another free program that helps like harder classes like AMP2. So I've supported Professor Garcia, I think for like about 5 semesters, but AMP2 in general for about 2 years. So I have also taken her class as well, like as a student. So I'm very familiar with how like her class is formatted and like as well as where all the topics a lot of the students struggle with. So with supplemental instruction, I have like group like interactive study sessions where I create worksheets, little handouts where we kind of work together and sort of help integrate some of the material. So it's not exactly like tutoring. I'm not exactly, lecturing either, because Professor Garcia has recorded lectures that you can also watch that are really good as well. But this is just another free resource that you can have access to, and it's helped a lot of students. It's just more beneficial if you go to them regularly as opposed to like once a week. I also have exam reviews, so most likely it'll be every week because of how quick the semester goes. But yeah, there will be one this week as well. I will post on Blackboard like all the links to these sessions. We will begin tomorrow, beginning with the endocrine system. And yeah, so later this in the afternoon, I'll make a Blackboard letting you guys know the session times, as well as for the exam review, like what time I would have them as well. And if you want to email me, I'll leave it on Blackboard as well, like my email if you have any questions as well. Unless anyone has some now. I kind of just don't want to take too much time. I don't know if the assignments ones is for me specifically. I don't have any like grades. It's not tied to Professor Garcia's like grading. This is just separate. Like you're welcome to make, any mistakes if you have any. Like it's not graded or anything. It's just a great place to like practice and make sure you're actually studying because it's like mandatory. Um, I would say it's somewhat similar to a TA because I'm not necessarily like tied to Professor Garcia. Um, it's just one of those where I like sit in her class, I take notes, I see what you're studying, so that way my sessions are more tailored to your class as opposed to me just having a general like session over any like biology. Like I wouldn't cover anything that she doesn't talk about because she specifically wouldn't want you to know about it. Um, so it's a little bit confusing to, but I would say yeah, I pretty similar to a TA. It's sort of like a blurry line of what exactly supplemental instruction is. Um, but yes, just a reminder, tomorrow will begin, but later this afternoon I'll post everything, um, as well as my email and session times and my office hours. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Professor Garcia.
All right, thank you for that. I really do want to encourage you to use these sessions. They are helpful, and you know, when you join them, be active in them. It's not something that you would just sit there and passively absorb. It's going to be an active participation kind of environment. So that's that. I wanted to show you what your Connect would look like when you log into it. Just so you see what you're looking at. So when you when you go into the McGraw-Hill Connect, you would see something like this. So I did a student view for you here, and you see what is due and when. So you see the start and end times. You can see those exams here. You can see that like the first one it opens at October 23rd, okay, at midnight, and then it's due the 25th at 5. So you have the start and the end date here available for you. You have this tutorial for virtual labs. It's not required, but if you have never done a virtual lab, you might just run through it. You don't get any credit for it or anything. It's just there. The practice integrity assignment is going to give you some extra credit. I want you to do it before the exam, please. That's the whole point of it. So if you don't do it before the exam, then you don't get your extra credit. And you might not know how to use Tegrity. Okay, so do the practice Tegrity exam. If you have not done the recording with it, then that doesn't count. To do it again, make sure that it records because you're testing the fact that the recording part works. Okay. So make sure that you submit the video with that. And then fundamentals of science and fundamentals of student success is something that is optional as well. This is not required, but I would give you, if you do both of them, let's make it a 5-point extra credit. Okay. So that's the fundamentals of science. It's just a reminder of some basic things. If it's been a while that you took a science course, you might want to take that. If you just took AMP1, then probably most of this is going to be pretty fresh and you'll just fly through it really quickly. Fundamentals of student success is going to give you some tips on how to be successful in a course like this. And so do it if you can. Okay. So and then you have like each unit is going to have assignments that are on Connect here for it. Now everything, all the visible body Connect assignments and the lab assignments, everything is in the calendar on Blackboard. That's like your master calendar, okay? Now, if you get on Connect, it only has the Connect assignments here. If you get on visible body, it only has visible body assignments. So let me click over, to this right here. And this is what visible body would look like when you log into it. When you click these plus buttons, it should now unfold and give you all the available things under that tab. If you see a due date of Christmas, it means that this is not for a grade, okay? So getting started with visible body, now that it's visible to you, You would read through that and get familiar with the visible body and then take the quiz over that here. Again, if you have already taken that quiz, I gave you 2 extra attempts. If you have gotten 100 already without reading that, then you're good to go. You don't have to do it again, but you can. I just gave extra 2 attempts, basically reset your attempts to everybody that has done it already, since this stuff wasn't visible. When you click on endocrine system, it's going to have a few more things in here. So it has modules, it has anatomy ID section, and then it has practice quizzes. These are not for grade. What is for a grade is this endocrine system identification quiz. Okay, again, look at the due dates. If it is Christmas, it is not for a grade. If it is not Christmas, then it is for a grade. Okay, and also there are different, like the ones that are not for a grade have those 3 lines, and then whatever is for grade, what's graded is going to be this check mark here. Okay, so that's how that works. I encourage you to go over these modules. So let's see what that would look like. When you click on that, it takes you to this, and it hasn't broken down into sections. So you would start with the first one, right? It's going to have some animations here, and it does take a little bit of time to load, so be patient with it. But once you get into it, you know, you can click it, and then this is the narrative of what visible body is going to tell you. When you click the arrow,
endocrine system is composed
here
of
it
glands
goes.
that regulate body functions, like
Okay.
the body's reaction to the environment, the level of substances in the blood.
And anyway, I'm not going to play this whole thing because you can watch that on your own. Okay, but that's what visible body would give you in the modules. And as I said earlier, this is going to help you with the lecture as well. Okay, it's really pulling together both lecture and lab material. What's more lab oriented is going to be, if we go back here to the anatomy ID. Okay, when you click this, go to endocrine organs, and again, because it's so kind of like high resolution and all, it does take a little bit of time to load, but this takes you to the Human Anatomy Atlas, and this specifically will be on the endocrine system. So you can you know, look, if you do the dissect, you can like remove certain structures here. I like to just double click on it. If you double click on it, it zooms in. Okay, right now I clicked on something that I didn't want to just because I was doing the double click. But like right here, that's my pituitary gland. This is actually more specifically pars distalis of the pituitary gland. This shows you the posterior pituitary. You can grab it and rotate it, okay? You can, you have to use spacebar if you wanna move it up and down, your mouse and spacebar. So getting familiar with how to use this is going to take a little bit of time. Okay, you can zoom in. I double click on this and it zooms it even more. Sometimes it's kind of iffy, you know, when you're trying to zoom in, but you can always rotate and click different things. And right here, it tells you what it is. Okay, so this is the infundibulum. This is pars tubularis of anterior. This is the posterior pituitary. So this would be the hypothalamus up there, okay? Whoa, where did you go? Yeah, and sometimes that happens and you're just like losing your whole thing. But anyway, so play around with that. Make sure that you're able to locate all the structures. Let me get closer to the thyroid gland. I had someone that said that the parathyroid glands were not there, but they are here. There are these little dots right here. Okay, so whenever we're talking about parathyroid glands and you're looking at the visible body, then these little dots right here are the parathyroid glands. It's a posterior side of the thyroid gland. Okay, and this is the thyroid gland from the front. There is, you can, if you're having trouble finding something, you can click this anatomy search, type in the term, and it will find it for you. So if you are not sure, you know, where it is, you can use that. You can download an app with this anatomy atlas. So you can actually do this on your phone or on your tablet if you want to, if you have a tablet. So that's the anatomy ID. And then practice quizzes will be just practice quizzes. So you'll go over that. I wanted to look at a unit that has more stuff in it. Let's see. Okay, heart. Heart is going to have a lot of available things for you. Anytime you see this thing that says lab activity, the lab activity is going to be like a guide through the module. So as you're watching the module, pull up the lab activity part, and it's just a PDF, and follow through and see if you are able to answer those questions in that lab activity. It's not for a grade because its due date is Christmas, but it's a good guide as you're going through those modules in Visible Body. If you want to play around with this, there's augmented reality lab activity, and that's kind of fun. Again, not for a grade, but you can play around with that, and you can use, like I've used my phone to do this, and it put like the heart onto my daughter. So I could like look at it. It was pretty cool. You don't have to do it, okay? But I made it available for you so that if you want to play around with that, you can. And then there's the anatomy ID and practice quizzes here. Heart has 3 quizzes, 3 graded quizzes because it's intense. So I really want you to be practicing these. All your quizzes on Visible Body are going to have at least 2 attempts, if not more. Some of the more difficult things are going to have more attempts available, and I will take the best score. They're drawn from a pool, so you might not get the same questions every time, every attempt. You might not get the same questions as your friends. And that's why we don't share questions with each other, right? So make sure that you practice this. Visible Body is a great resource if you are using it correctly. Okay. Okay, somebody is trying. Okay, so I haven't gotten to the integrity part yet, but let's go back to our Connect. So here's what you're gonna do. And again, that video link that I posted or sent you earlier explains how you set this up. But this is your Connect page, okay? You see your assignments, I've already talked about that. And then on the left side, you have some items, some menu items here. What you will do is something that is totally not hitting you in the eyes, right? It's not, I wouldn't think that this is where you find integrity at all. It is here at the very bottom under recorded lectures. Okay, so when you click on recorded lectures, it is going to take you to a separate tab. And did it actually? Yeah. And it's going to be called Tegrity. Once you get there, it will have this button called Start a Test. And so that's where you find it. But watch that video that I sent, and it will tell you, like, you know, you will have to download the software first and all that. So one thing about Tegrity is that it's not super obvious that it's recording you. So so anyway, hold on, who just came? Okay. So anyway, that's where you find that. Does that help a little, Lynn? That's where you find it. And then you will have to install the, okay. So you go into your Connect. On the left side, you will go to the very bottom where it says recorded lectures. When you click recorded lectures, it will open a new tab called Tegrity. And then here you will click start a test. If you have not downloaded the Tegrity software, when you click it, it will prompt you to download it. So go ahead and download and install it. And then you can do that again, okay? Start a test, and then it will ask you to take a picture with your ID, I think. And then once you do that, it will minimize itself. It will go at the bottom right corner, at the bottom panel of your computer, whether you're using PC or Mac, it will be hidden there. So it's not, you're not going to be looking at yourself while it's recording you, but know that the moment that it minimizes itself, the moment you start it, it is recording your face, your computer screen, and sound, okay? So once you start it, I hear what you're saying and I see what's on your screen. So some people last semester didn't realize that I was hearing what they were saying. So just a reminder, I can hear you. Okay, so hopefully that will that worked. I would encourage you to try to install it and do that practice assignment as soon as possible. Don't wait until the day of the exam to get this running. Okay. And actually, I think you have to do it if you want to get your extra credit. You have to do it by the day before the exam. So anyway, so that's Tegrity, Learn Smart, Visible Body. I think that's, yeah, okay, let's see. Chat. Okay, lab assignments on Blackboard are the same as what we see in Visible Body. Some of them, yes. Okay, so if it says VB, then that is Invisible Body. If it does not say VB, for example, let's go back to my course. So if you are in lecture unit here and you're in unit 1, endocrine system. So if it says VB right here, that's visible body, and it will tell you this is on visible body. Okay, so you'll go to visible body and find endocrine system quiz. Okay, now endocrine system lab exercise, this doesn't say VB, it's not a visible body thing. You have a document attached here. It says see the video for direction. You will not be uploading this in Google Classroom, okay, but you will be uploading it here. It's not the same as visible body. This is a separate thing. And yeah, so there are, okay. And then also, we don't have one for the first unit, but in the blood chapter, there is also a Connect virtual lab. That's that's going to go through Connect. So when you click this, that will take you to a blood typing Connect virtual lab. So just read the little directions that tell you where it is. I tried to specify that for you so you know how it's turned in. And along with Tegrity practice says, do we complete the tutorial for labs and fundamentals of science? And so yes, you can if you want some extra credit points. So if you do, so Tegrity practice with video, okay, don't just answer those questions without video, okay? It has to be with video. We'll give you 3 extra credit points if you do it by the 24th. And then the fundamentals of science and student success, if you complete both of them, you'll get 5 extra credit points, okay? You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I will give you some extra credit points for those. Okay, any other questions about like the software, yes. So if you do Tegrity, so the question is, can you repeat the extra credit, please? The Tegrity practice assignment with video, okay, if you do it correctly with video, I will give you 3 extra credit points. And yes, with the integrity recording, because I've had some students that would just answer the questions in that assignment, but they didn't submit the integrity recording. Okay, so that wouldn't give you extra credit points. So do the integrity practice assignment with integrity recording. Yes, and you will get 3 points, 3 extra credit points. And then do the fundamentals, both of those. And if you do both of those, you get 5 points. Not 5 for each, 5 for both. Okay. So anything else? Okay, you're welcome. All right, any other questions about the syllabus or other things? Okay. Yes, well, 10-2, you mean? So we're gonna begin at 10, and because this is a first class and I have to go over all this syllabus and all these different rules. This one was or is going to be a little longer because we haven't even started the endocrine system yet. But I won't keep you more than hour-ish on average. Sometimes we might go to hour and a half, but generally it's going to be around an hour. Okay, just this one is longer. And I will give you access code to Visible Body. For now, just do the free part. But for the textbook, you do need to purchase textbook yourself. So for the Connect access, you do have to buy that yourself. Okay, anything else about the syllabus before we move on? Okay, if you have any more questions, hop into the office hours from 1 to 2 today, and or email me or text me, okay? And we can, physical book is okay, but you have to have Connect access also. Okay. So yeah, I like to have my hands on paper. So I really, even if I'm like modifying my notes or something like that, I always carry that giant book with me. And even though Connect gives you access to the ebook, but physical book is good. It should be identical to the ebook. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording and then start recording again for the endocrine system part. And we're not gonna go through all of it today. Okay.